additional gold, he basically hero stacks. He gets a lot of HP pots, heal scrolls, all those good items, and mana pots even, just because to counter spell breakers. The idea is you've got that gold, so you may as well make your heroes as powerful as possible, and that's exactly what Happy intends to do. If you get that economic advantage, you know, a heal pot that saves a hero can be a game winner. We all know this. An extra mana pot can be a game winner. Just make the most of your economic situation as undead, because you're probably used to playing without an expansion in most games, so make the most of that economy. He doesn't do it in this game, but creeping out a shop and getting access to invulnerability pots against Breaker Griffin is very useful, because it's an excellent protective measure against a Stormbolt focus fire from Griffons, which he doesn't get this game, but it makes a very big difference for your Death Knight, who's obviously the only hero which can't be healed. So a couple of abominations coming out, Happy now creeping out the center. He's gained an economic advantage, and he's gained a map control advantage by really punishing Sonky in his base. So he takes the advantage to take out the red middle camp, heal up on the fountain, and just get those hero levels. You notice he's got considerably better hero levels than his opponent. And, you know, his own expansion's up, and he goes back to put more pressure on his opponent. Sonky, for his part, has done a very good job. He's now crept out of red as well, getting a good level Mountain King, but Happy's going to basically clean out the game here just by basically just beating on his opponent's army. If you look at the food count, it's 70 food to 65 food. So despite having been early game out economied by his opponent, Happy's now got the food advantage, which signifies that, and if you look at the game statistics at the end, he actually made the most of his money and was able to force his opponent, who went into upkeep earlier, to waste more of that gold income. So in actual total gold utilized, Happy's considerably ahead. Takes out the Ultra again, just forcing his opponent to waste resource. So the Breaker Griffin army against Fiend Abomination army, the way you want to micro it basically is Fiends do double damage against the light armor of Griffins, so you obviously want Fiends attacking Griffins and Abominations attacking, attacking Spellbreakers. Importantly, you need to utilize your web well. You don't want Griffins to be webbed in the middle of your army and still attacking. If possible, you want to web them while they're still a little bit away from you. Back your army up using Unholy Aura quite quickly, so the Griffins can't fight all at the same time. And then, if there's no Griffins in attack range, just focus down on those Spellbreakers or focus down on his heroes. Crypt Fiend Focus Fire is extremely potent, even against heroes when combined with an Orb and all his nukes, so make the most of that. You know, the Archmage is a low HP hero. You really can nuke him. Crypt Lord going to go down here again. That Focus Fire is extremely powerful. Goes down, you know, without really even a thought. Heavy focus fires down the MK. You know, it's not really going to achieve too much, but it does force him to burn healing pots, which is again more economy, which is not a bad thing. Pardon me. Another thing to focus on, if you're using Abominations and Crypt Fiends, if they're going to die, make sure you really do focus on, concentrate on using Dark Ritual from your Lich to kill them just before they get that last hit. Not only does it deny experience, but it does give you a bit of extra mana, but the experience makes a big difference in the long run. The presence of the Meat Wagon is simply just to put pressure on Sonky's main. It's not a game-changing thing, but you know, it can make a difference if this back and forwarding continues for a long time. So good use of Dark Ritual there prevents that experience loss. More focus on the MK. Again, it just forces him to basically expend more gold on basically keeping him alive. Barracks goes down. If you look at the food now, it's 80 to 65, so it's getting considerably in Happy's favour now in terms of army size, and you really get the feeling from all this back and forwarding that there's really not too much Sonky can do at this point. He's just lost too many things and had to rebuild too much to have much of a chance. So he comes in, fighting. You'll notice the Griffins haven't yet been, I suppose, interposed in the battle, and the focus fire is just immediately down on the Spellbreakers, which do take quite a bit of damage from that. Death Knight's getting low on HP, he'll pop his heal pot. Web will go off shortly and put the Griffins down. Basically, knowing he's going to have to TP, he focuses down the Archmage, nukes him, takes him down, TP's out. You don't want to be trading heroes, so swaps an enemy hero. He's now going to heal up his Death Knight and immediately come back and apply pressure. So, as you can see, the human army really is going to output more damage and has better focus fire from the army than you do, but your nuking does make up for it, and continually picking off those heroes will make a huge difference. If you look at hero levels, there's really no comparison. 442 against, I think it's 3/3. That's a significant advantage for the undead, and while he hasn't yet hit those critical 5/5 heroes, he will do that first, and that makes all the difference. So Sonky trying to tower back up, again, just having to waste more resources, but not really going to make too much of a difference. Again, if you look at Happy's Death Knight, he's stacked with items, so is the Crypt Lord to a lesser extent. The idea being just make the most of that resource. He's got his attack upgrades on his units. What I really would like you to take from this game is that so long as you keep the economy equal, even if your opponent masses towers, or even, for example, goes towers and tanks, you've always got options. And so long as economy is equal, and you scout well, all you have to do is counter your opponent and play intelligently. You don't need crazy micro. Micro makes a difference. It helps when skill level is equal and sort of like understanding of the game is equal. But where that's not the case, strategy should win most of your games. As long as you don't make any silly micro mistakes. See, you go, look, Web goes off and takes out a Griffin. There you go, that's the power of Web. A very useful spell. But as I was saying, as long as you don't make any silly mistakes, so long as you're strategically sound and you play intelligently, you should do absolutely fine versus any opponent you ever play. The important thing is just to really think ahead and consider your options, and sort of just develop strategies which play to your race's, undead's natural strengths. In this case, it's been the ability to sort of create that very powerful focus fire army. And see, this is the backbone of Fiends, really counters everything. Good use of Impale there is going to get a hero kill, because he teleports back and just gets focused down and killed. And that's the GG. So what I want you to take from that game is that what Happy had from the beginning to the end of that match was a plan. And a lot of the PMs I receive, and a lot of the posts I see in forums, and the Undead forum sort of go along the lines of, what do I do in this specific matchup? What should I do against this army? Blah blah, things to that effect. And what I'd like Undead players to try and do, having heard this audio, is come up with those battle plans. Happy's plan at the beginning of this game was go quick. He goes, well, he firstly considered the map. He goes, it's Lost Temple. I'm against a human. I know he's going to expand and tower. That's fine. What can I do against this? If I get a good spawn, I can harass him. Try and slow down that expansion, take up myself, put up an expansion. That's fine. That didn't work out perfectly, so he adapted. You've got to be able to adapt. So he went to tier 3, and then put up the expansion. He used a Lich to counter the early footmen. Basically then decided, well, I've got to buy time for my expansion to go up. I'm going to pressure my opponent. So that's exactly what he did. He wanted to put pressure on his opponent. But not only that,